Hi Scorpio, welcome to your 30th to the 5th of November 2023. So this is going to be general guidance messages for your week ahead. There's brand new readings in store. You can book a face-to-face. There's specific questions, there's coaching, there's everything. There's singles readers now up. There is the full moon read. Everything is in the iDot 2024 as well. So check out the store because you might find something there that really catches your fancy. You can also buy someone a gift for Christmas because that's coming up really soon as well. And check out the kick and all of me links below. Okay, like the video, comment, because I'm going to be really honest. I've decided that how I'm going to start doing these videos is whoever I get the most views from is the people I start to prioritize. So I decided that today. Literally the videos will be done based off who views, how much views is on that video. Okay, so if you like it and comment, it will help other Scorpios to see it, and then I'll start making sure that I prioritize Scorpio. Okay, so what are we seeing for Scorpios this week, please? Financial constraints, a lot of people are getting this. So see the way the coffers are kind of bare, but it's with the rise of living, the rise of, the cost of living, just all of the stuff that's happening. But this can be someone who definitely is running out of money, and they're finding that all the money is tied up in rent, bills, food, everything, right? So what are we seeing this week for Scorpios, please? Care and connections. This could be needing to lean on people around you to help you financially. It could be going back to live with your parents. It could be just needing people around you to support you financially. The other side of the coin is some of you are having financial problems, but you've got a good partner. Some of you need to focus on partnerships this week. I'm getting a power couple here as well. I'm getting a power couple that really support each other through the hard times. I'm getting that even when money is a problem, these two people are good. So this is true love for me, because it's kind of like it's not based off two people being together for security. When money becomes an issue, these people don't forget about what matters. Does that make sense? So this is a couple who's able to support each other and to be happy even though they're going through challenging times in the job or challenging times financially, which is lovely. Okay, what else are we seeing for Scorpios this week? The Sun. So I do get a marriage proposal for some Scorpios. The proposal might come from an Aries woman, because Aries got this. If you're single, I feel like you could be meeting an Aries really, very soon, or a Pisces, man or woman, and I feel like this is a person you end up building a great future with. So be careful, because some of you right now there is financial constraints, but love can come to you at any time. Okay, so I feel like this is about but you need to get out there this week. You need to step into your power. You need to start finding ways to build up some resources. I think a lot of people in these times feels paralyzed. A lot of people are feeling paralyzed. They kind of don't know how to deal with things because it's so intense and it's problem after problem after problem. But the calmer you can be, the less reactive you can be, the better it will be. Okay, also being paralyzed when money is an issue is not going to help you. You need to kind of get creative and think about how you can start getting revenue fast, a job fast, whatever your problem is. Some of you are worried about Christmas. Some of you are worried about Christmas, you're worried about family, gifts, all of that. But I'm getting it as that these people support you, they love you. Even if you can't buy all kinds of gifts for these people, as long as you're there, you're present, you do your best, like that's all they care about, right? If you've got people around you who are kind of not like that, in other words, basically it's based off conditions, then these are people you need to revise. Okay, so this can definitely be as well, like with the full moon in Taurus. This is about, again, are connections. Some of you could be dealing with a masculine, and this masculine has got multiple women. I feel like for the Scorpio woman, you're looking to build a life with someone. You're looking for a true care and connection. So some of you need to get rid of this man who's always playing games with multiple women. You need to break free from some kind of lack, okay? Whether it be financially or whether it be to do with your happiness. Because the Sun card for me is someone who is liberating themselves, they're liberating the solar plexus, they're stepping into the power. Okay, some of you need to get out this week as well though. So some of you have been living in a paralysed state, or you've been living in a fear-based state. What I'm getting is some of you need to get out this week, and you need to start basically building. Okay, I feel like in some way you're keeping yourself restricted in a job or in a certain dynamic, or this could be just someone who's socially anxious. And I feel like this is the week now to start basically on the back end of the full moon. Because it was a full moon in Taurus, so it's about Venus energy, it's about wanting love, it's about wanting abundance, it's about wanting security. It's about wanting the finer things in life and not constantly living hand to mouth, because it's horrible, you know, just constantly being in survival mode. Every penny you get is to pay a bill, you know, it just gets boring. You can't focus on what matters because you're just too busy trying to survive, right? So yeah, some of you need to step into your power. I think for some of you Scorpio women, you're coming up as kind of emotionally naive, and with the Taurus full moon, this is about basically our childhood, it's about our traditions, it's about the family that we came from, the parents that we came from. So some of you are really learning why you've become the version you've become, right? And it's based off other people's value systems, it's based off the masculine, feminine template, your parents basically. For you this week, it's time to step into your power, and I'm also getting meeting the one. I'm getting a true love connection, and this true love connection is not like anything you've ever known. It's not conditional. So basically, if you look at most connections in the world, it's based off a checklist. Do they have a 401k? Do they own their own house? Are they successful? Are they attractive? That's all it is. But this connection that's coming your way is just like through the sunshine, through the rain, this person's going to be there, okay? But some of you need to, you could have been badly hurt by someone, so this can be someone who needs to heal. Some of you dealt with a very primitive person. You dealt with a very egotistical person, someone who's primal in nature. This is someone who just runs off appetite. This is someone who runs over people for success, this is someone who just uses people for the body. I feel like some of you have been really heartbroken, and I think it's time to heal. You might need to go to a tarot reader or a healer to get your balance again, because the healer of the ages is someone we go to and who we're meant to meet, who we're destined to meet, who's meant to help us basically heal. Now remember, healers come in many forms. They can come as a community of people. It could be a community workshop. It could be some kind of power group online. It could be an individual. It's a yoga instructor. It's a personal trainer. You know, there is healers in the library in the form of books and spiritual teachers and the Aristotles and the people who connect us back to our true authentic self. Not everything's on Google. Not everything's on YouTube. Now I'm on YouTube, so clearly the fire's still on YouTube. I said what I said. Hashtag just saying. Piss off, Dave. Packing in. Oh, we got a little mate. And he likes the bed. He's trying to go to bed. We got this little tiny mate, and he clearly likes it. He's actually really cute, so I'll leave his ass. But if he gets in the bed, I might squash him. Okay? But seriously, I just feel like for you this week, it's like, remember, you need to go out there, you need to seek the teachers, the healing. Some of you might be going on some kind of spiritual path. Some of you, this could be booking a place in a hot location, because again, if you're in Britain now, it's getting fucking dark at 5 o'clock in the night, in the afternoon, so this could be like going to places where it kind of stays, it's sunny all year round, and it stays lighter later, and some of you might just need some sun. Because I do think if you're in Europe, if not Europe, but if you're in like Britain, or you're in, it's kind of doom and gloom, same as America right now. It's all like negativity and just heavy. So sometimes you need to just go to another place so you can reframe your perspective, right? Some of you just need a bit of sun, because the sun is going to help you to, you know, gain perspective, gain clarity, okay? But yeah, it's time to get out there the morning. Like some of you, I think as well, this is just, it's a Scorpio thing. I think some of you Scorpios right now, it is your season. You're really struggling. This is where you wake up in the morning and you just don't want to get out the bed. This is where you're having to go to a job and you just don't want to go to the job. You know, that's not how life should be. This is where you're kind of getting up and you're like, God, another day. That's not how life should be. It should be inspiring, right? Your job should be inspiring. The people you spend your life with, right, living should be inspiring. It should, you know, it shouldn't be what you're looking at people where they're just kind of depleted and dejected and zombie-like, and you know, it shouldn't be like that. That's what this matrix is trying to do to us, right? Princess of Swords. Some of you are dealing with an air sign, a Gemini probably. You could be dealing with a Taurus. But you're dealing with someone who's playing games, and I feel like this person is tiring you out. Some of you are obsessing over an ex, or you're obsessing over this person. He's out there with other women. It doesn't just have to be a man, it could be a woman as well, but they're not thinking about you. They're off living their life, doing what they're doing. And I think you need to take your power back. You know, I think you need to be like, no, I'm not wasting my time, I'm not wasting my life, right? Some of you are hoping for like a true love connection from this person, but you're just not going to get it, right? Yeah. I think it's time to drop the stress, Scorpio. See the way this woman is kind of in the ocean? So this is when some of you is basically your philosophy, your belief system around yourself and around life is kind of dark and it's kind of broody. And you need to come up for air and you need to start seeing the good stuff. Some of you might be being really affected by, you know, the wars and just all the things that's going on in the world and people's energy collectively. But make sure you're not taking on bags that are not yours. That's their shit. Don't take it on. Be careful with how you're dealing with other people. Don't be projecting your stuff onto other people. Don't be resentful. You know, some people you're looking at, they're going through their best time now, right? And you might be going through a difficult time now, but again, the pendulum will always swing, right? But yeah, I feel like some of you are coming into a really good time. This is more for the Scorpios who've been really, really struggling. I'm getting a relationship that's getting stronger. I'm getting potentially a new relationship. But you're going to have to be out there. You know, some of you Scorpios, you're sitting and you're kind of lying around all day. You are staying in bed till like noon. You are not getting out there and fixing your money. You're not getting out there and fixing your problems. I think part of yours are kind of, and I understand like some of yours have went into biochemical stress. And what happens is when we go into threat mode, we go into feto mode. So we naturally retreat. We go into kind of protection mode, yeah. But listen, some of you have got problems so deep that you can't do that. This is not the time to be in the feto position. There's too many sharks out here, there's too many savages, there's too much danger. Now is the time to be making yourself stronger, mentally, mind, body, soul, spirit. Now's the time to be connecting with like-minded people. You know, I've definitely been through a very, very difficult time, but I've saw some true love. I've saw people who truly, truly, truly love me. You know? And they've put themselves out, and even though it's been inconvenient for them to do so, and I haven't always been the most happy, the most nice person in what I'm going through. So it's during your worst times that you'll see the people who really care for you, right? People will shock you for good and bad. But also, for those who are kind of being hit right now, you got to stand up. You got to stand tall, and you got to confront whatever it is and be like, okay, you want to fucking fight? You've got one. Because the thing is, and this is something that happened to me when I was at my weakest, the sharks will sense it, they'll sniff it. And the problem with these type of people is they're highly predatory. They have no conscience, they don't care. And they'll come in a pack, and they'll come as like, they'll really just come for you. It's like a bear fight. So right now you just need to stand up, and you need to this can also be yourself. It can be your own body turning on you. It can be your own mind. So this is where people go into suicidal thoughts. It's where they go into a dark place, and what's really happening is their own mind is turning on them. Their own body is turning on them. Their own shadow is turning on them. And that's a dark war, because if a battle is outside of us, we can find ways to protect ourselves, but if the battle is within our own mind and our own body, fuck, try running from that. It's where you're having bad dreams. It's where basically you're having nightmares. It's where you're having darkness coming up within you. It's I've been in it. Okay, it's what the world calls psychosis and a breakdown. Okay, but seriously. And sometimes, like if you go to a doctor, if you go to somebody, they can help you, right? They can give you something to calm you down. They can talk to you. They can, sometimes that's actually what you need. So for those Scorpios who are going through a difficult time, you're going to have to take hold of yourself, and you're going to have to, if you can't do it, then go and find people who'll do it. Because sometimes we're not capable, we're so exhausted, we need other humans to pull us up. And I think we live in a world now where that's just seen as weakness, but all humans are out here keeping us all alive. Like every day, all of us are keeping each other alive. We're all contributing to each other's safety, each other's survival, whether we like to believe that or not. If you get yourself back up and you get yourself stronger, there'll be a time where there'll be people who are in what you're in now, and you'll be that person for them. Sorry about the noise in the background. But in general, okay, it's about some of yous, again, you're going to have to take hold of yourself, just because basically whatever this financial problem is, whatever this emotional problem is, it's got to be dealt with. So this week it's no more avoiding. You're going to have to, take the bull by the horns, so to speak. And some of you just feel so betrayed, you feel so depleted, you feel so hurt by what people have done. But again, we're going through the resurrection. It's the judgment day. It's the age of Aquarius. The human collective is going through a period of harsh judgment for what we've done to each other. From the wars in the Middle East, to the way the West has conducted themselves, to basically our greed, we've been in the devil. So we've got, a lot of us are going through a painful time, but we've got a very painful time ahead. We've got a very painful 7 years, decade ahead, and we're also in very dangerous times where humans are not dealing with things in the best way. They're having heavy reactions, and they're having, people are going to darkness. But there's also a lot of light out here, but you got to seek out the light. You got to be the light, right? You got to be like, okay, it's easy to be angry, it's easy to cause pain, it's harder to be a decent person, it's harder to help other people up when you're struggling. That's harder. It's harder to speak the truth than it is to lie. Do the harder stuff, okay? And that doesn't mean we don't fight. I say this to men all the time. I've got men, and I say to them, listen, violence lasts. So I was in the gym last week, and shit went down with the Middle East. Let's just say this, it was all Middle Easterns, and they were nearly battering each other. And I'm sitting on the floor, and I'm just trying to mind my own business. But I was like, nobody's doing nothing. So I was monitoring the situation. I was like, I'm going to have to get up and step in here. And I think because I was a woman, and there was a lot of men, and then one of the men was like, there's a woman here. But then I think it cooled down because they're like, I fuck you up, get out of it. And I was like, why? For what? Do you even know what you're fighting for? Do you need to start killing each other for what? But the point I'm making is sometimes there is a room for violence, and I will be an advocate for that. There is a room where people cross the line and they become and yes. And that's a big problem with the world as well, because you're told that any kind of violent reactions are bad. Mostly you want to use violence last, but should you have to use it, you want to be competent enough to use it. And that's it. Especially in the times we're living in, because we are living where a lot of people are becoming seriously unhinged. And I wouldn't judge a book by its cover, because it could be just an older woman, it could be anybody. People are becoming unhinged. you know. So it's walking around calmly, it's being prepared but not tense. It's being aware, it's paying attention, but without being, you know, constantly on high alert and in threat mode. Some of you are watching all of this stuff that's going on in the Middle East. You're watching all this negativity on the internet, but you're not tuning into the good acts of humanity. The war that's taking place in the Middle East, you're seeing a lot of bad people, a lot of bad actors, but none of you are paying attention to the people who are risking their lives, putting in aid, getting people out the rubble, people running in to save other people. Nobody pays attention to that. There's so much good that's taking place right now in that situation, as much as there's just the most disgusting shit taking place. Okay? Also, every day, even this guy's listening, look, he's sitting there, he's like, this is good shit. Even he knows, this little tiny man, he's observing me, he's like, yeah, this is good. But seriously, even you, so it's like every day we get up as human beings and we can act good or we can act bad. You know, we can be our darker version or we can be our lighter version, and some days you're going to lose that fight and the darkness is going to come out and you're going to lose that fight. And then some days you're going to shock yourself with how nice you can be to people, how helpful you can be to people, how, you know, like me in that situation, like I shocked myself afterwards. I was like, why did I just do that? You know, I just essentially walked into like, it must have been about 6-8 men. And I was like holding them back and I was like really in it. I was like, you know, if they just start to punch, but you know, I've also been in fights, I've fought men, and I knew if it went off, you know, I was going to get some bruises and I was going to get hurt, and you know, that's what happens when you go stepping into things. I'm not naive. You know, I grew up in violence, I was abused as a child. I'm a very aware woman, and so I've been in violence, I've observed violence, you know, I've fought with men, so, but I'm saying, I really didn't need to step in, and sometimes it's about that as well. It's about stepping in, mediating situations, calming situations down, calming yourself down, you know. But I love your reading, Scorpio, I really do, but it's going to be an intense time. I mean, I'm not even a Scorpio and it's like intense. But are we making it more intense? Are we making problems bigger? Are we hating so we want to hurt other people? You know, I constantly have to monitor this in myself, where especially with what's being done to me, it's like, I'm like, don't test my gangster, because I'm telling you, I am not mouthpiecing, I will act. But then sometimes I do sit there and I go, is it because you're in pain right now? Is it because you feel disrespected right now that you kind of are having reactions? And so another thing you can do is, if you feel like you're doing this, ask other people. Say to other people, is this reasonable, or is this me having an emotional reaction and projecting onto another person? And they'll tell you. You know? But let's finish on the good anyway, okay? Why do I do this shit? Give me a fucking gun. Okay, if I lived in America, I'd be dead, because I'd have done it. I'd have just fired them. I'm joking. Although some days I'm not. But seriously, and that's what I'm saying, if you're going through a really difficult time right now, if you're going through a really dark time right now, there'll be times where living just feels too much. Right? It happens to everybody, you know? But if you can hang on, there'll be times you have where you'll just be like, life is worth every bit of it. And that's the human experience. The human experience is just, some days you're just like, God, like, and then some days it's like, wow, I'm so happy to be alive, I'm so happy to meet this person, I'm so happy to, it's just, that's the human experience. It's the dark, it's the light, it's the bad, it's the good. And when you learn to be in what life is, that's where the good stuff comes. If you branch out this week and you don't go into a dark place and you don't go into a suffering place and a victim place, you've got new jobs, you've got people who'll shock you. If you're willing to be vulnerable, if you're willing to ask for help, you've also got new love, you know. But you need to be willing to be vulnerable. And I do think some Scorpios, because you're kind of struggling, you're coming across as broody, you're coming across as projecting, you know. And the more vulnerable and the more real you're willing to be, some of you might need to start doing art or doing poetry, or, you know, think of Prince Hamdan. That's what he does, right? He does poetry. I feel like with Scorpio, you take in so much of the dark because that's who you are. You observe everybody's darkness, you observe like the collective shadow. And I feel like what you need to do is put it into poetry, put it into singing, put it into art. God has made us all as he intended us to be. But what's happening with man is he's trying to be like, look at everybody, they're like a copy of each other. It's like someone said something on the internet and then everyone says it on the internet. Get a fucking identity. You know, someone wears something, everyone starts wearing it. Get an identity. You know? So, it's, you know, and naturally Scorpio is broody and it's a bit intense, so what? The right people will let you be that, but they won't let you project, bleed and hurt other people. You know? But they'll also understand that that's not you acting, that's who you are. An intense being. And they'll let you be that. You know? Scorpios are awesome, right? But you can be paranoid. And you can be a bit, you know, a bit dark. And some of you are creating your own darkness, and it's due to basically the people you're connecting with. You're openly allowing abusers into your life. You know, and so it's creating the darkness. You need to choose better romantic partners. You need to choose better friends. You need to choose better environments, right? You need to, I think a lot of you, when the darkness comes up within you, you kind of push it down. Let it come up. It's scary. It's not pleasant. But when you let it come up, you're not trying to contain a beast. And you acknowledge it as part of yourself, because you know what they say, you can't see in another man what you refuse to see in yourself. And the truly weak of this world are people who think they're good people, and they think that Hamas is not in them. And ISIS is not in them. Oh, it's in you, darling. Push it enough, you'll see it. Okay? So, the point I'm making is we're taking our darker side, our demonic side, our animalistic side, and we're integrating it, we're putting it into powerful places that become constructive rather than destructive. The energies you're picking up are the covert darkness of other people. But what I want you to do is, as people send you evil eye, as people send you these things, I want you to take it and give it back. That's not mine. Or not even take it, just refuse. But should you gauge a thought or gauge an energy, simply give it back. No, that's yours, you take that back. Okay? And it's also you going, okay, today I'm feeling a certain way, this is what I've been doing lately, okay, I'm feeling very angry, I'm feeling very triggered. And I'll see people around me and I'm like, okay, right, I need to not take this energy and give it to this person. End of. This is not this person's problem, it's not their, like, no. And that's it. Okay, so this could also be doing like a protective shield as well. Okay, some of you need to go off into nature. Okay, this is doing like a protective shield. I have been reading the cards, I've just not been picking them up. This is releasing a lot of dead weight. It could also be getting rid of someone who's just emotionally dragging you down. And some of you, it's to do with growing up, maturing, taking responsibility. You know, some of you are too isolated, right? Some of you are kind of in the wrong environments. This is now a time on the back end of the Taurus full moon to rebuild yourself. There's 2 months of this year left and then there's a brand new canvas, right? But you don't need to wait till 2024 to start building your shit. And I'm also getting that some of you have been hurt and you've been betrayed and you're scared of love, and I get it. But this is time to heal the emotional body. Tiger's eye is the one I've been saying for a lot of people. Although it can be a very dangerous stone, so you do have to be careful when you wear it on your body and kind of where you take it, because I've been using it a lot, and every time I tend to have it on me I'm like, what? Like, you know, yeah, I'm just saying, if it goes down I'm like fully not in an aggressive way, but I'm fully like ready to confront. So it's a very powerful stone. Maybe you want to open up your heart, so you won't use tiger's eye, you'll use a heart stone, so a green heart chakra stone. Maybe you want to have connection to your higher self, so you'll get amethyst, because that's connection to your higher self. But these stones really work, but again, it's about our intention and our belief as to whether these things work, as to how powerful they are. If you believe strongly to your core that you're not going to find love, well, that belief is going to become a reality because it's a frequency. If you believe that you're not going to solve your financial problems, you're not, because it's a strong belief and it's a frequency. So man is creating what he believes, but he's also creating what the collective believe. And this is not about disrespecting people. It's about, I'm sorry, but your belief is not my belief. You know? And it's about powerful energy. Love your reading, Scorpio. They're always a pleasure. Like I said, if you like the video, if you comment, if I see the views going up, I'll put yours first. That's how it's going to be from now on. I'm no longer breaking me back for people. I'm no longer going to be out here begging people to see my value. I've coached people all over the world for a decade. I've broken me back for you people, right? And it's about time that the respect started getting corrected. If it doesn't, I'm out. And I'm at peace with that because I've give everything, and that's where I'm at. But it's always a pleasure to read for you. And like I said, if the views go up, if the likes go up, I'll make sure that when I sit down to do the videos next week, I'll look at who's got the highest views, and then I will prioritise that sign.